Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling Party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We're inviting people to join the Bling sisters. Bringing entertainers from around the world. We help you find places to go. We sell you the jewelry to take you there. Glam up, accessorize. Let's get out of the living room and out on the town.
Up and down the 101, glamorized party and having fun.
Sonoma, Santa Rosa, Bodega Bay, Windsor, Catani, Roner Park, Petaluma, Hillsburg.
We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling Party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling Party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We talk, we chat, we have conversations with interesting people from around the bay.
Come on, join the Bling sisters. Let them sell you jewelry that'll make your day.
We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling Party. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling Party.
Hello everyone and welcome to Silver Shells Bling Party. It's a hot, muggy Tuesday afternoon. Oh my gosh, we've had the weirdest weather here in Sonoma County lately. And oh my gosh. But anyway, I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are
the Bling Sisters.
And this is our show, Silver Shells Bling Party. So like us and share on Facebook. Look for the red light in the upper left-hand corner. If it's on, we're live. And if you'd like to be notified when we go live, somewhere around there is your notification bell on the right side. So just click on that and say, I want to be notified every time Silver Shells Bling Party goes live. And you will be. So Cindy and I are two women from Sonoma County, the heart of Sonoma County.
It's true.
I'm wearing a heart. And we have an online jewelry store. So go check it out, www.silvershells.live. Got our gorgeous jewelry back there. I'm wearing a heart. My chokers are my favorite. I've got a heart, sterling silver.
I'm wearing Larimar with moonstone and amethyst.
It is absolutely.
This is one of my favorite, one-of-a-kind pieces.
They're beautiful. We've just sold some opals, so if you're interested in opals, carnelian, pearls, we have sterling silver. Oh my gosh. We have bracelets, necklaces, earrings, and pendants. So be sure to check us out, www.silvershells.live. And if you mention our guest tonight, guest number 75, Peter Hale, you get a 25% off coupon for your whole order. So
just hit me up on Facebook Messenger from the business page, Silver Shells Bling Party.
That's right. And remember, like us and share on Facebook. We also have, our show is also an interview. And we interview the who's who in the entertainment industry. We've had 74 past guests. Can you believe 74? We've had a comedian. We've had Rodney Norman. We've had Willie Jordan, Kathy Greer, Dan Durkin, Terry Hank, John Provost, Eric Korn, Carl Wyatt, Richie Blue, Suze Lanier Bramlett, Rob Ruiz. Oh my gosh, you guys. So
what about Billy Sheehan? That was
Billy Sheehan.
That was the most excellent interview.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big
and
himself.
He was so nice. I'm so, people are just so nice to agree to come on our show. They watch an episode and they go, yeah, we'll do it. We haven't been turned down. Everybody's so nice. And so if you want to watch any of the videos, you can go to our Silver Shells Bling Party and click on the videos, and it will show you all of our past videos, even in the time before we started interviewing. Go all the way back
All
to the
the way
beginning.
back.
Yeah, but it was 3 hours now. It was. It's been quite the learning process, and we're having a great time. We have upcoming guests. We have Heart Dog Brown on Thursday. I won't be here, but there will be a surprise person in my place hosting. Kevin Mulligan of Soul Section will be here on Tuesday, August 25th. We have Lloyd Meadows on Thursday, August 27th. We have George Cole from the George Cole Orchestra. Now, he's going to be interesting, so you guys got to tune in.
That's right.
Bourbon House is rock and roll, and the front,
Female lead.
female lead. All right,
That's
Thursday, September 3rd, and maybe some live music thrown in there. We're not sure yet, but anyway. So
I think we're pretty sure on September 5th we will have a live concert too. We have those things are sewing up nicely.
Very nice. So we're going to have some socially distanced music for you coming up in September. That is awesome. So tonight we want to welcome Peter Hale. Peter,
There
how
he is.
are you?
Hello.
You are guest number 75, and oh my gosh, we're so excited to have you here tonight because for everybody that doesn't know Peter and does know Peter, he plays with the Hots, and he's in the Dictator Tots also. He lives in Petaluma, and he was raised in San Francisco, so we're going to ask him some questions about that. And you also have your own business. Hale.
Yes, I'm a hardwood florist.
Yeah, a hardwood florist.
You're
Is
a
that
florist?
hardwood?
That's
I
funny.
do hardwood floors.
My son does too, as a matter of fact.
No way.
He does parquet floors.
Wait a minute.
Isn't that butter?
Do you know Zach?
I don't know your son, but I could use him.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm scheduled for a little surgery tomorrow, so I won't be able to work for a while. So seriously, get your son to get in touch with me.
I will. Well, moving right along, now that we've addressed the employment of my son.
Yes. So yeah, that's all right. I mean, you could plug your show too. So you just finished doing a big job. You said.
Yes, at Tall Toad, the guitar store in downtown Petaluma, they had run the place. Charlie Cowles had run the place for 32 years without ever being able to change the carpet out. And Chris Miano kept trying to get me down there, and he kept trying to bribe me with these beautiful 59 reissue Les Pauls. And I said, hey, you're going to need 2 weeks, at least if we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And so it never happened until, of course, this COVID shutdown. And that's a silver lining, really. Because it took about 3 weeks to do the flooring there.
Oh.
To get it back. It's an 1880s building, and we had 6 loads of crap on the floor, and they had to move 600 guitars for 2 days before that. And anyway, so it was a big deal. And then Dave Sampson looked at the floor because there was a gap in it, and he said, that looks like a fretboard. And I said, you want to put a fretboard there? And I said, let's go do it. So if you go there now, there's a 25-foot fretboard in the middle of the store, right when you walk in. So it's pretty cool.
That does sound cool. So, but it doesn't make noise when you step on it, right?
No.
It's not like one of
Could
those.
make music.
Yeah.
You know how they put those bands, those frets across the highway, so if you drive over the bumps at a certain speed, it actually makes a song. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I don't think you could get going running that fast in the store, though.
No.
No. So.
No. It was a good idea.
Yeah.
An idea whose time has passed.
That's right, come and gone. All right, so Peter, you were born in San Francisco, and so what part of San Francisco did you grow up in? A fun, exciting part?
I didn't grow up in San Francisco. I was just born there. You asked me where I was born.
Oh, see, look at me making assumptions.
Well, so I grew up in Kentfield, which is pretty hoity-toity now, but it was, Buicks and Fords and stuff when I was growing up there. It was a really nice place to grow up. And then when I was 11, I moved to London for 5 years. So I went to the American school in London for 5 years, and then came back to the very same house in Kentfield.
That must have been weird.
It was. Yeah. Well, and going from baseball, which was my favorite thing on earth, to foggy London, that was a big change.
When they
And they talk funny, so.
did
Did you know what I mean?
So what took you to London? Your
My
dad's
father's
work.
Yeah.
So you went to. Did you take music lessons there in England?
It was pretty cool. They did encourage music there, but also so I had chorus and just there were like you come to class and you'd sing. We were taught American Pie and what that was all about back in the day, and then it was funny because it got boring. There wasn't great TV there, and there was not much to do in the summer. And I was at a friend's, and he was playing guitar when I was about 13. And he said, don't you step in my blue suede. And I go, hey, if he can do that, I can do it. So anyway, that's where it all started. And I had a very crappy guitar compared to these here, and really had to to play it, but it was basically learned lots of Beatles songs to begin with. So.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, the British invasion. But you were over there when they were
Well, that's what was cool is that my school, the American school in London, is right near the crosswalk of Abbey Road.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So have you taken your own iconic picture of you crossing the Abbey Road?
I never did.
No.
We didn't think about it, It was just we call it it's Grove End Road. It's how you get to Paddington, I mean it wasn't. We didn't think about it at the time.
So do you still have your first guitar?
I do not.
Yeah. Some do, some don't. It's just kind of.
Well, my second guitar. I had for quite a while, but I gave it to my roommate who was a teacher, and she still has it to this day. She teaches kindergarten, and so she plays my old Epiphone.
Oh, fun! Oh, that's nice. Put it to some good use.
I say so. Yeah.
We have a hi, Pete Hale from Donna Egoidia. Hey, how do you say that?
Agula, I think.
There's no L in there. Well, Donna says hey.
Well, hey, Donna.
Oh, where'd my comments
So does
go?
Gary Chateau and Red.
Kathy January is
Kathy
watching.
January.
So we got a lot of Kids Are All Right who are watching.
I hear that.
We have Jason Cass, Nicole Massey, Terry Tony, Tim Curley, Brad Hoffman, Judy Erickson, Candace Sue Akers. Yeah, we got some. The Kids Are All Right. You're one of our
Nice.
favorite bands. Okay, continuing on. So you're in England, and you're playing. Are you in a? How was it playing in England?
I just played in the kind of in the lunch area with people and learned songs, and we actually had Elton John came to our high school, believe it or not, twice.
Oh,
He played in our gym, but the concert that really made me want to get good at guitar was Bebop Deluxe, which not everybody knows, but
Oh, I know Bebop. Do.
they came to our little 300-seater amphitheater where they put on plays, and those guys lit it up, and I was hooked after that. So I remember the next day somebody taught me one of their songs, Sister Seagull, and I was like, oh, I'm on my way now, so but I wasn't in a band till I did a public performance in Shakespeare on Stage when I was back in high school. I took a Led Zeppelin song and put a Shakespeare sonnet to it.
Oh, that's
So
clever.
that was my first that was my first performance in front of people, and I was scared to death. So.
Well, especially when it's a concept you created and came up with, and it's like, oh, I'm going to sing for the first time in public.
The pressure is on. The pressure is on.
I did not quite sing as high as Robert Plant does, though.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
boy, he can.
Disclaimer.
All right.
Caveat.
So,
but yeah, the first band was probably when I went up to school in Chico.
Do you still...
And I was there for a couple of years jamming around, and that was my first electric, playing with others. And by the end of my second year, we formed a band called The Daily Planet. And then I went traveling. And so the band kind of went on without me for almost a year. And when I came back, we did a battle of the bands for the local radio show up there.
Uh-huh.
They had a big stage, and there were 6 bands. And I think we sounded the most amateur, but we got the crowd going. And I mean, we didn't even have tuners, I think. We were a little out of tune, but
energy.
we won the darn thing.
It's energy and connection that really matters, isn't it?
I think so. I think that's exactly right. And so the prize, anyway, was for us to play in the local place. It was the kind of like the grown-ups place to play. We were playing house parties and stuff, and all of a sudden we were at Cabo's, and Cabo's was the place where, you got paid, and
yay!
and you had a stage. So anyway, it was really good fun. And from there, we became a very popular band for the next couple of years. So that was my first band when I was like 20 to 25, something like that.
Were you also working all that time?
I was going to school at that time at Chico. I ended up eventually getting a history degree from Chico.
Oh, okay.
I like history. History is fun.
What is your favorite segment of history? What is your favorite era?
Well, I think probably World War II through like the 60s probably is what I find the most fascinating. But once in a while, I get turned on to things like King Philip's War, which was before the Revolutionary War,
Mm-hmm.
where the colonists could have been wiped out by this Indian chief whose name was, they called him King Philip. And then he got bored and he didn't do it. And little stories like that you don't hear that often. Those are fun too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot happening between World War II. I mean, a lot in technological advances.
Yeah.
And the
Very much
60s.
so.
Just all of a sudden we have TV. All of a sudden we're flying in the air.
We've got jet age. We also have the revolution of the pill in 1960.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff changes, and technology especially. Think of how pre-World War II the cars and airplanes versus by 1960. So it was quite a wild period.
The
Fun to study.
atomic
Yeah.
revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was shaped like little atoms and stuff.
So tell us a little bit about some of the bands that you're in now. Let's talk about
Well, you've got the Hots and the
Hots
Dictator Tots.
and the
Hots.
Dictator Tots.
And so, okay, so you joined the Hots around 1998. Was it already an existing band?
Yeah, that's about right. It
Okay.
was. Hots is funny because Hots comes from. So I was in a band at the time called the Sofa Kings,
Okay.
and the Sofa Kings were kind of getting boring for me, and we were not being as creative as we had to begin with. And I recommend actually the first record. We made a CD called Waltzing in Babylon that was pretty good. I think it still holds up. But it was kind of run its course, and so I asked Zach Hammer if he'd come and play with us at the Moose Lodge. And John Crowley had some good parties happening there. before he had Aqua's Cafe, he
Okay.
had the Moose Lodge. And so Zach came along and played, and I was like, this is fun. And, you know, we were talking earlier about chemistry, and it's like we played off each other really well. And so the Hots actually started out as Ham on that sofa. Zach Hammer on the sofa.
Okay.
Hots.
On the sofa.
It morphed into the Hots. And
Into the Hots.
it also morphed into more of a cover band because Zach is so great at singing. And it's also really fun to play like dual guitar stuff with him. And,
Yeah.
and so we've had a blast like the last, whatever it is, 10 or 11 years. It's been very drama-free because we're both like that. We're just like, we love playing and we love having a good time. We love seeing the kids are all right, you know. We love when the nice party's happening and we have a good time. We really miss it, by the way, right now. So
I really love the song selections for the Hots. I mean, anybody
Well-
that covers the Kings of Leon,
Oh, yeah.
anybody.
And
Well, the way
Britney
that works is
Spears.
kind of interesting
You-
because, you know, one of us or the other, like I brought in Britney Spears. I said, we should try this one, you know. And Zach said, okay, I'll give it a go. And then, you know, killed it.
Yeah.
You know, so then we go, yeah, approved. And then we, you know, try it out when we play it live. And if it keeps going and sounding good, then we keep it. He and I are kind of the deciders.
Mm-hmm.
And so Zach brought the Kings of Leon in, I believe. Or if it wasn't him, it was Jed, the drummer.
Okay.
And I can't remember who brought it in, but it was cool. So we said, yeah, let's try that live, and then it worked. And so we kept it. And that's kind of how that's our process.
Well, I think it's a good time to look at the Hots demo reel.
Yeah, let's check it out. The Hots demo reel. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the Dictator Tots.
Okay.
Are we
More
ready?
questions. We have more hard-hitting investigative journalism going on here.
That's right. Okay, here we go. Let's roll them.
All right.
I'll walk the walk with you, baby. 8,000 miles with you. I'll dry your tears of pain. 8,000,000 times with you. I give you all and nothing, baby. Just tell me here about me, because you did not know Chicago. We're everywhere, Chicago. You did not know, baby. We're everywhere. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't see the deputy. I shot the sheriff, but I did not see the deputy. All around in my hometown, they're trying to track me down. See, they want to bring me guilty for the killing of a deputy.
Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice women right here. Singing.
Got it all.
We're back.
We are. I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are
the
Bling
Sisters.
Sisters. And this is Silver Shells Bling Party. And thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to visit www.silvershells.live
Or
blingsisters.live.
That's right. We're switching over the domains to the blingsisters.live, but you will be able to get there through www.silvershells.live.
Go check it out. We have a coupon. If you mention either guest number 75 or Peter Hale, you get a 25% coupon off your whole order.
Just hit me up after the show.
Just hit her up. We have some people we want to say hi to. George Hegarty, Dan Durkin, Michael McLaughlin, Michael Gunn, Andy Evans, Fred Guzman, Ed Brenfield, Juliet,
Elisa Kaufman,
Elisa,
Alexis Prince, Linda Vaughn, my cousin.
So we got some good people watching. All right. So Peter, you see, so you've been playing with the Hots, and then how did the Dictator Tots come about?
Well, that was about me having what do they call it? A vehicle for my stuff that I write, for my originals.
Okay.
Which is kind of harder to do because you kind of have to get people to buy into your songwriting.
Right.
So the Dictator Tots were just my way of starting a new band that I could play all my stuff. And what's been cool about it, though, is that I've been able to con several really good players to join me once in a while. And so it's kind of an evolving cast of musicians around town here. Guys like Sean England and Marcus Owens have joined me.
Okay.
Barry Bisson from the Sofa Kings. Right now I have Bob McCain, who's in everybody else's band, so why not mine?
Why not?
And Brad Hoffman, and he and I have played for a long time now. So anyway, it's Steve Hoffman, his brother, and Toby Tyler.
Toby.
Among many, and it's really cool. Chris Chappell, they'll join and we'll play, and it keeps it interesting.
So I have to know. I need to know. Inquiring minds want to know, where did the name come from, Dictator Tots?
Well, to be truthful, which I try to be, unlike some people these days, I was given that name by a good friend who said, have you thought about using this as a name? So that's really all it is.
Really?
Yeah. I did not come up with it.
There's no maniacal dictator in the mix?
Well, that's why I agreed that it would be a good name, is because I was busy kind of being frustrated that I had a lack of control, but what's funny is that, though, I mean, people who play with me would say I'm not really bossy, but I do like to kind of have the final say, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'd rather see what you want to do, when you're playing with me, than you got to play this, or I'd rather see also someone like Marcus Owens, when we did the Steely Dan show, was much better at doing the verbatim guitar solos of Steely Dan. So like he could do the Larry Carlton, Kid Charlemagne solo, and everybody's like, oh, how do you do that? He's really good. Pete Hale is going to come and do the outro solo where I can kind of mess up or experiment a little bit and have fun. So anyway, I try to find people's strengths and go with that. So
do you improvise? Do you improvise with the Dictator Tots then?
Oh,
More? Yeah.
That's actually what I've heard, is there's some improvisation happening.
Well, now, okay, so the wonderful T-shirt that Shelley has on.
Okay, I want to show you. Can you see that?
That is what we were trying to there's that came from a 1950s accordion record, that drawing. Anyway, so what we're trying to do stuff that, by jammy we mean, not quite a jam band, but kind of. And prog, we're talking about Yes or Genesis or something that will maybe have time signatures that switch up a little bit, or mix stuff together a little bit, or do an odd time signature.
Okay.
And shite just means stuff in the style.
Right.
So it's jammy, progressive shite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's funny. It's my favorite white T-shirt. I tried to keep it pretty clean, but
So
it's
very white.
Maybe 8 years old.
Yeah. And you had to win that too, because I
did.
Right? I give little trivia quizzes about, like who were the backup singers during the Beatles song Birthday, for instance. And if somebody knows it, then they get a T-shirt.
I can't. You asked me a question. I can't remember what it was, but it was not that question, because I have no idea. Who were the backup singers then? Now I'm curious.
It was Patty Boyd Harrison and Yoko Ono.
Oh, wow. Okay. Have you ever had...
According to my sources, but this is I told you I have a degree in history, but
right.
History is always subjective, and it's, you always have to check it and check it twice. But that's what I what I read.
Those are your sources.
Yeah, it's my sources.
Okay.
So you write, how many songs have you written?
I've been writing since I was about, 18 years old, so probably 60 or more, but some of them you don't ever get to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them you try a couple times and see if they work in public, and then if they don't, then you move on. So, but yeah, I'd say somewhere in the region around 60, something like that. I think I counted them once upon a time.
How many do you think you've recorded?
Probably somewhere between 30, somewhere around 30 to 40, somewhere in there.
That's
Nice.
pretty good. So,
Yeah.
so the Dictator Tots, you play original music, and then you
We
play.
do covers as well.
Okay.
It just depends who my personnel is.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a Led Zeppelin show that was very fun too. And what was cool about that is I had Pete Delaney playing electric, and I played acoustic, so we could do songs like Over the Hills and Far Away, which was my
Okay.
Shakespeare song of when I was 17. And we could also do, what else did we do? We did some fun, like Ramble On, because you'd have...
Ramble On, that's a good
both
one.
Electric, acoustic, and it's...
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's a fun way to do it.
So, what are you what are you doing during this COVID, during this quarantining? How are you staying busy? Are you touch?
People have not stopped calling me about doing hardwood floors.
Well, yeah. Now's a good
Yeah,
time to do it.
but for exercise, and recreation, I had a poker game for the last 20 years that we had to stop cold because a lot of the guys are kind of older, and and then there's also volleyball. I have a sand volleyball game that I adore, and that's really fun to play, but can't do it. So I've been getting on the bike. I ride road mostly, like 97%, and I'm trying to stay fit, and I think I am right now. And plus, you can socially distance when you ride a bike.
Right.
They seem to, I was tested recently for my surgery, and I'm doing okay. So it seems to be if you're outside, it's, you can do things like ride bikes and walk and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. As long as you don't spit on each other as you're
Yeah.
talking and stuff. Well, I got to ask you a question. What is the socially awkward Alpine Club?
I do not know what that is.
No.
Well, we
That's
need
not
to
me.
know. So that's your assignment. You did not know you were going to get an assignment. We want to know what it is and how do we join.
You guys climbed a mountain. You said you were a member of the socially awkward Alpine Club, and you climbed a mountain and everything. So,
Well,
wow.
I really love climbing Mount Tamalpais, and my wedding band that played our wedding was the Swiss Family Donner Party.
The Swiss
So I don't know if that fits
The
in.
Swiss Family Donner Party. That is a tragic story.
family.
That's not right.
I
We're
know,
going to
it
move
wasn't
on
right,
from
but-
there.
But they were the wedding band back in the day.
So, okay, all right. The socially awkward Alpine Club was taken. You summited the Meigs Creek Trail, the K2 of the Smoky Mountains. No, not you.
No, not me.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry.
What the heck was I looking at? Okay,
She
all right.
didn't
Sometimes-
check her sources. We're
I-
going to Snopes her next
Oh
time.
my gosh! Look at me, just okay. That
Okay,
is
well,
just-
that's okay.
Anyway,
we're going to
all
wrap
right.
it up pretty soon. It's actually time.
Oh, it always, see, this is one of the.
This is what happens.
No, okay, so
Can I say something?
Yeah.
We wish you would.
Dan Durkin, who I don't really know that well, We shared the stage with him in Nevada not too long ago, and he's such a good musician. He was singing and playing drums.
Incredible.
I want to ask him one day though, if back, I don't know, somewhere in the mid-'80s, he was at Arrivederci singing She's Leaving Home with a couple of other guys. I need to know that one day from him, because I believe it was him singing with these other guys this impossible to sing Beatles song, and I've always been kind of in awe of the man.
Well,
So,
I'll tell you what, because we also are in awe of Dan Durkin.
Dan
He
Durkin's
is incredible.
watching.
Dan Durkin, I think, is watching. But send me
Yeah.
that question via Facebook Messenger, and we'll forward that question on to Dan.
okay, great.
Okay.
So, are you still in touch with your friends from England? That's my question.
Yes.
Yes?
We had a meeting about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was kind of interesting because one of the guys lives in France, one guy lives in Puerto Rico, Houston, California, London. Everybody came to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we had a really fun reunion. In fact, I hadn't seen some of these guys for like 35 years.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
And you keep in touch? You've kept in touch all that time?
well, I'm the closest with one of my friends who lives in Knoxville. And what was cool about that too is when, we had all the nice time with the old buddies, but when they left, Graham Nash happened to be playing at the Bijou downtown Knoxville, and he had tickets in the 7th row, so I got to see one of my heroes, Graham Nash, with just one other guy, but it was great. I was in tears half the time, it was so great. So
Wow. That's nice. That's a great story.
yeah.
So when all this is over, you're going to just keep on keeping on, take the jobs you
Well,
can.
I'm hoping that we get those wonderful gigs that Zach booked for the Hots back. We actually played a Dictator Tots gig at Rogers Place, the Big Easy, about 3 weekends ago, and that was very cathartic and good fun. And everybody was behaving, by the way.
Did they give?
Everybody was staying apart, and people without masks were the ones in the restaurant because they were eating. So,
Slowly,
but yeah, I look
slowly.
forward to playing more.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you more.
Gosh, we're going to.
Say again?
I said we look forward to seeing you more.
Okay.
So we're saying hi to Carol Casey.
Yeah, let's say hi to a few people and then wrap it up. Who do we have? Carol Casey, Nancy Madison, Christopher Chateau.
Hey, Chris. Chris and Gary. Hi, guys.
I think everybody else we hit.
So, yeah, we've mentioned Dan.
Donna.
So, Dan, we have a question for you. Dan,
We have a question.
Peter Hale. So, yeah. Dan, Peter Hale. Yeah, we've introduced people over our show before, too. It's like, hey, I want to meet that guy. Hey. So, it's a lot
I've
of
always
fun.
appreciated you two showing up at the shows. It's
Nice.
always a pleasure to see you guys there.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
like, we like the energy, It's the Hots and the Dictator Tots. We really like the
Originality.
Yeah.
They're not just your average band. They really bring. I like the variety of music
Yeah.
from the Hots, and then the originality of the Dictator Tots.
Yeah, and it's more rock and roll. We need to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are more rockers and bluesers, and
Yeah.
But anyway, well, gosh, thank
Well-
you everyone for joining us, and Shelley and her big mouth. Shut up, Shelley. Oh yeah.
We have a Dictator
Contagious,
Dictator
isn't it?
Tots Mimi's Murder. Do you want
Oh.
to tell us a little bit about that song?
Oh, it's a very tragic story, but it's a true story, and it's all in the lyrics.
Poor Mimi.
Okay, poor
Oh,
Mimi.
All right,
Uh,
we want to say good night to everyone.
Good
And
night.
Thank you for joining us. Thursday night, be sure to tune in for Harp Dog Brown. He will be guest number 76. I won't be here. I'll be on a much needed vacation, but we will have a guest host sit in my chair and hopefully keep you as amused as we do.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think it'll be good.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Be sure to
Let's
be an organ donor. Sign up to be an organ
Walter
donor.
Trout says
Walter
be an
Trout.
organ donor.
That's right.
Okay, let's.
All right. Bye, Peter. Thank you so
you
much.
later.
Okay. Bye,
Thank you very
everybody.
Let's roll
That was
it.
fun.
Good night.
The kind of girl who keeps a score of all the boys she's had before. A nasty appetite for her. She got to have just one more. That's how they your friend, and then it's nicotine when no one hears you scream, and then the time runs out, your time is lost. Part of me was showing